Ramadan is zakat is due. That's not true. Zakat Ramadan does not mean it's time to give zakat. Zakat be given at any time of the year. Right? Not only in Ramadan, but many people have this thing where, oh, in Ramadan there's more reward. That's also nothing that we don't find anything of the sort within the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ or amongst the Sahaba even encouraging that. So we don't even find the encouragement of giving zakat in Ramadan from the Sunnah or from anywhere else. So that's something that also we have to be mindful of. The moment you reach the nisab, you go over the nisab, then after that, that's not the threshold starts. That could be any day of the year. It doesn't have to be in Ramadan. The only thing that I would say for some people in Ramadan is easy for them to remember, but that doesn't mean that that's your zakat paid. So again, the nisab of gold is 3 ounces. You have 3 ounces or more, or 87.48 grams or more. Now you have your zakat clock begins. Right? So the clock of your zakat begins, and then from there, going afterwards, you still have that amount. If you have more, then you give it. If you have less, then you don't have to give zakat. Then silver. The nisab of silver is 21 ounces. 21 ounces or 612 grams, 612.36 grams. That's the silver. The cash equivalent is $442.06. So it's the big disparity. That's why the nisab of gold has now been standard even for Eid al-Adha. Normally for Eid al-Adha, you take the nisab of silver, but unanimously because of the gross difference in the value, the nisab of gold is now the standard even for Eid al-Adha. So you have that much for Eid al-Adha, then you have to slaughter an animal. If you don't, then you don't have to. So basically, 1 ounce of gold is about $1,814.61. That's 1 ounce. From there, you take your gold. The best thing you can do is take it to a jeweler who know how many carats it is, how many ounces of actual gold there are. And remember, the artistry of the gold or the jewelry doesn't matter. That has no bearing. It's only on the weights. So the weight of the gold and the value of the weights. Not on the artistry, not on the market, or the whatever is being sold at the stores. It's only on the market value of the weight of the gold. That's the only thing that matters. That's what zakat is on. So that's the gold and silver. So now we'll go through some of the questions. One of the most common questions was 401ks. Right? There's 401ks, IRAs, and things of that sort. Is there retirement funds? Is there zakat on those things? So there's a few things here. Number one is how much zakat we pay on business partnership and investment. We'll talk about that a little later. So, but just generally, zakat on business partnerships or investments, like mutual funds. Mutual funds is portfolio of different type of stocks. You would just take the value, the entire value of not each and every individual one, but the entire value of your portfolio, and then 2.5% of that is what you would get in zakat. 401k, the reason why there's so much confusion with 401k is because there's two different opinions. One group of scholars is that because you have a hindered access to it, one thing about zakat, you have to have access to the money. That's where you have zakat. That's what is zakat. You have access to it, there's zakat. When you don't have access to it, it's not zakat. So with 401k, the issue comes is because there's all these different fees and penalties. So one group of scholars consider that that's a hindrance. So zakat, you don't have to give zakat on 401k until you reach the age of retirement where you can take it without any type of penalty. The other group of scholars, but even according to those scholars, once you receive it, once you have that wealth in your hand and you have access to it, you have to pay zakat for all the subsequent years that you had. It becomes due at that time. So that's also something that takes into consideration. The other group of scholars say you do have access to it. Yes, maybe you minus penalties, withdrawal fees, taxes. Yeah, those things are there. But you minus that, you still have access to money. It's there. It's yours. You have access to it. So it's not under, it's not, it's still there. So you have to be zakat. And this is probably the most predominant position. And how you would calculate zakat from here, you have the B, which is the balance, and then you would, parentheses, if you just for basic equations, you would add your license plate number 5EMG405. This is your car. Please, this is your van. Please move it. Again, Honda Odyssey 5EMG405. Please move your ISO of the car. So, going back to the oral case. So you have your balance, you take your balance, and then parentheses, your penalties, plus the withdrawal fees, plus taxes. You add those, parentheses again, and then you would from there, whatever someone's left, right, so you would minus that from your balance, and then from there you take out your 2.5%, and that's what you pay. So the predominant position and the more practical really is there is a guideline for 401k. You just minus all the things that you would have to pay, the penalties, taxes, and whatever withdrawal fees, and you minus that, whatever's left is yours, so you give 2.5% of that every year. So as far as 401ks are concerned, we do have to sit on. And that's the position I also favor as well. So that's 401ks. And this ain't going to go with anything else. There may be some situation where you genuinely don't have access to it. Certain retirement accounts or things of that sort. You generally don't have access to it. In that situation, then you will give zakah on it. You just wait until you have access to it. When you have access to it, that's when you would basically give zakah on that. The next most common question: rental properties. You buy a home, you live in that home, you come into some money, and you buy another house. And that house you put on rent. Is there zakah on that property that you're putting on rent? It's rental properties, whatever scenario you're in. Is there zakah on the rental property itself? The answer is no. There's no zakah on the property itself, but there is zakah on the income from that property. So the income from that property, you would take that and you would subtract the mortgage payments that you had. So if you still owe money on it, whatever your mortgage payments are for that year, you would match. So let's say 20,000 to be simple. 20,000 is the income that you received that year, right? But then in terms of your mortgage payments, that adds up to about 10,000. So you would minus that 10,000 from the 20, and then whatever 10,000 is left, that is the calculation based on. So you minus that from your rental properties. Now the thing with properties sometimes, if the property is bought with the intention of resale, like you bought it with the intention of selling it. In that case, whatever your portion, however much you own of it, that you will pay zakat. Right? So whatever amount is yours belongs to you, and you don't owe money on, and as you have already paid for, you will pay zakat on that much, if it's therefore resale. Stocks. That's the next most common question. With stocks, it's all different because there are different investment strategies. One is long term, where you're keeping it for a long period of time, and then the other is that where a person would basically, you're just buying some shares and you're not keeping it for long periods of time. So for the long term investments that we have, stocks, those are also two. If you invest in a company where they don't have any assets, they just give dividends. In that situation, you pay the on the dividends. And in the case where they have receivables, inventory, or things of that sort, you would pay a zakat on the book or net value of the stock plus the dividends, right? So the book value and whatever you receive from it, you would put that together and then you pay 2.5% of that. business inventory. There's a very specific hadith in Abu Dawud where the Prophet ﷺ, he said, he commanded that zakat should also be paid on items that were there for resale. So anything that you have bought and you have the intention of selling it, there is zakat on those items. So if you have a business and you have some sort of inventory, you pay zakat on the inventory that you have as well. Loans. You give out money. There's two scenarios. One, you know or you're confident that the money will come to you. And the second is where you're not sure or you're probably sure it's not going to be paid back. In the event that the money is going to be paid back to you, if you have the financial ability to pay the job in full amount, you should. If not, at the very least, whatever you put in, a loan is still your money, right? That's still your money, that's still your wealth. If someone else has it, then it still belongs to you. So that's the safest thing to do is to pay the job full amount if you're able to do so. If you are not able to do so, then whatever you receive, whatever payments you receive throughout the year, that will be zakatable, and the rest of it will not. In the case where you gave someone money and they may not, or you're not sure, you don't include that in zakat. That's not zakatable. You would pay zakat on that. Collectibles, coins, other collectibles, works of art, NFTs, right? These are all things that are included. So we'll start with the coins. The coins, number one, if the coin is in circulation, if it's not gold and it's not silver, but it's within, it's in circulation, like quarters, for example, whatever we have, like quarters, dimes, nickels, those kind of things. It's in circulation, people collect them, then they will be zakat, right? It will be zakat on the value of the money that you have. So if it's not gold and silver, but it's still in currency, it's something that still has value, then or still in circulation value, then you pay zakat. If it's gold and silver, regardless. Gold and silver, you would same thing as the jewelry, you would weigh it or at least find out what potential gold and silver is there, and you pay zakat on that. So you use gold and silver, regardless of whether it's in circulation or not, you would pay zakat on it. And if it's not in circulation, right, you have coins, and it's not gold and silver. So the coin that are not gold and silver, and it's not in circulation anymore, there's no zakat on that. Unless, of course, there's gold and silver content, then you have to be careful about it. And remember, the gold and silver, specifically things like platinum, uranium, or any other type of metals, there's no zakat on any other type of metals. Only gold and silver. Why? Allah knows best. But as far as Quran is concerned, there's only zakat on gold and silver, no other metals, whether it's platinum, whatever it is, white gold, whatever you want to call it, there is no zakat on it. NFTs. NFTs are also a little bit tricky because, and this is something where you can also, like works of art, for example, a work of art, jewelry, NFTs that are, things that are not currency, right? That are not some sort of currency. There's no zakat on stuff, right? So there's no zakat on NFTs unless you get like cryptocurrencies. Yes, there's zakat on cryptocurrencies. Right, so NFTs that don't include that, or cable, if they include some sort of cryptocurrency, then you would give the cryptocurrencies. And you would follow the nisab of gold. Again, going back to the nisab of gold, that's the threshold. You have that amount or more, you give zakat. You have less, you don't. Someone asked me about bonds. As you know, bonds are very valuable, right? Interest, debt. So that's a haram asset anyway, so you should be having that. We don't have zakat on that. Vacation home, rental property that we're already told, like vacation home, same thing. Most people have ability to rent out. There's no zakat on the actual property, but there is any income that you derive from the property, there would be zakat on that. Luxury items like cars, like So things like cars or expensive phones, whatever, these things, there's no zakat on these items. Zakat items are only what I mentioned above before. So I'll kind of stop it here. These are the main questions that people have. If there are any other questions, feel free to ask. If there's something that is more personal, more detailed, like there's a bunch of steps, email those instead. It's better to have an email so that I can go through it down. But if it's a general question, you can ask some questions if anybody has them.
So, nisab is just you have enough gold that you meet the criteria of your nisab. You don't have a separate, I assume, okay? For silver, separate nisab, and gold, separate nisab, cash and all that.
Well, once you go over the threshold of nisab, then you accumulate all of it.
Right.
So all of it together, and you would do now. Okay, there's the Honda Odyssey eyesore. It's still there. It's locked into the car and it's leave. License plate 5EMG405. I think it's a silver. Golden Beach, Honda Odyssey. Got some scratches on the back. If this is your car, please move it. It needs to go. It's already 11:30. A lot of people still work on the weekends, so please be cautious and careful with that.
One more question.
Maybe not. Yeah. I'm just the lady side.
Yeah, but you announced earlier, I saw no one was moving, so I thought maybe like I should be outside.
Again, if anybody has on honesty, that needs to leave, can you please move your car?
Let me just go wait.
Yeah, maybe. So, you talked about the rental property. If you bought it with an intention of just renting it out, and like a couple of years later you decide to sell it, would there be a zakat in the equity of the property you have? It's not like you didn't buy it with the intention of reselling it, but now, for whatever reason that you're reselling it.
Yeah, once you change the intention, then from there, your clock will be different from there.
The clock starts from there, the one
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, your clock starts from there. Yes.
Oh, right here.
So I just have two questions for clarification. You said stock only is a part on the dividends or something else.
If that's something that the company offers. So that's the only thing that offers is. If not, then you pay on the book or the market value of the stock.
So common stock that people buy on trading websites, so those are accessible at any point in time. Those should be free. Right, on that municipal money stock, right, that we have as a.
Yeah, use the card.
So the number two clarification I had was, we were talking about loans, right? So if you have any chance of the loan being repaid, then you should be paying the card on that, right? But what if the loan is, there could be two forms of loan. One is short-term liability, like, you can get money back in a year, or another could be to have 5-year liability, you won't get money back in the time in the short term. So what happens in that case?
So the moment the money begins to pay to you, that's when you get it.
So in other words, you're saying short-term liability, repayments, or is accountable for anything which is long-term?
Yeah.
Hold on, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yeah. And the same thing when you are paying any loan which you have in which there's installments that you have to pay, you don't include that. You don't need that from your zakat. So your mortgage payment, your car payments, those type of things, you don't deduct that from your zakat because those are long term. You're not paying long term, so you don't deduct that from your zakat.
I was referencing to loans.
Yeah, I just meant that as mentioned as a side. Okay.
Pays zakat on the down payment of the rebate down payment of the house. You put money in the house like down payment?
Yeah, on a house?
In the house.
No, there's no problem. There's no discount.
also on the gold side. Let's say the lady doesn't have the wife doesn't have the money, but she has the gold. So she pays for that every year. So she pays for her. She pays for her gold or
No, you pay cash value.
if she doesn't have the cash, let's say the husband doesn't make money, but the wife has the gold.
You would have to give some corporate version of gold. Yeah. Because it's a Scottish.
The last question I have, let's say if your family members they don't make enough money to survive. They survive with what they make, but they don't make enough to live. Are they eligible for zakat?
As long as they don't have, the main thing usually in our culture is gold. So if they have that amount, but they have to give zakat, they cannot receive. And if they are under that threshold of zakat, they don't have any nisab, then you can give it to them. But keep in mind, they have your dependents. So like parents, even a parent may not be your dependent, but your parents, grandparents, and above cannot give zakat to. Children, grandchildren, and below you cannot give zakat to. And siblings you can give it to as long as it's not dependent on you. If they're dependent on you, cannot give zakat.
There are some hospitals back home, they have zakat fund. Can we donate to that hospital?
Yeah, those for those funds, keeping or assuming that they are careful in terms of they're able to at least ask the right questions and you can give it to them. You can give stuff for that questions. Debt is one of the things that you can help someone. You can give someone, if someone's in debt, you can give them zakat on it to help pay for debts. Only gold, silver, any other jewelry, precious metal, recyclable silver, or precious stones, there's no zakat.
I have two questions. This always comes up from many people. First of all, can we give zakat to somebody who's a sayyid? And second, in back home in India, mostly people ask for zakat to marry their daughters because they don't have enough money. So, please give your zakat because I need money or somebody needs money to marry their daughters.
First one, real sayyid or fake sayyid? Right? Depends. Your name is a sayyid or really? In any case, if they're a sayyid, if they belong to the family tree of the Prophet, because some people are, but they don't have that word name sayyid in their name. We are not allowed to give zakat. The Prophet was very, very clear on what different families that are allowed to say zakat. So for those people, you can't give them zakat, you can help them financially, other ways, right? But you can't give them specifically zakat. As far as people taking zakat money for that, if someone is eligible to receive zakat, it's not our business to do it. They can use that money for whatever they need to use it. Whether it's groceries, whether it's, to buy something else, marry their daughter off, that's all, it's a needs and necessity, right? That's something that has to happen, right? We cannot leave unmarried girls at home. So it's not our business what they spend it on. That between them and also kind of whatever. But they're eligible to receive zakat, they need it, give it. Unless you especially know that they're going to use it to buy drugs or something like that, that's a different story.
You mentioned the pension plan. Okay, the pension plan usually invested in stocks and bond and mutual funds and treasury bonds, and those amounts fluctuate. So, if someone wants to retire and take lump sum, then they have to pay 32% right away. So, are you talking about net amount which will come in hand or in bank? Or you are mentioning every year we have to pay whatever total amount of the balance is?
As I mentioned when I was explaining it, you would minus your penalties, you would minus withdrawal fees, you would minus taxes, or anything that you would have to be hit with, however much it is, you would minus that. You would minus that. If it's less than the nisab, then you don't give it, but if it's more than the nisab
The thing is that, for example, someone has $1 million in retirement, and the amount is fluctuating because the stock market fluctuates. So how they can calculate about on that? For example, $1 million became 800,000, and how many, like 1 year, or what is the time period?
It's 1 year.
1 year from what?
From the time that it goes over the nisab, the amount of nisab. So the moment it goes over the $5,000 threshold, that's when your zakat time starts.
I think his question is,
So, how do you track it?
That's, you have to track it. I mean, that's your account. You have access to it, I can answer the question.
So, I think the best course of this action is just create the zakat at the beginning of Ramadan, we just put the date, like first of Ramadan, whatever.
Yeah, if you don't know this, that's fine.
Right.
But, like, it becomes logical when it goes over, or it becomes harder when it goes over.
And the second question is, the recipient of the zakat, do you have to disclose the fact that the person is receiving the zakat money?
You don't have to tell it as account, but you have to verify that you're eligible for zakat.
I know, but if that person wants to know and
If they want to, then they have a right.
then it is.
They have a right.
Okay. No, expensive watch and really, you don't need it.
Unless it's gold, then you have to let it
Yeah,
go.
cool. All right.
You would include the, whatever jewelry credit you have, you include it in that. Yeah. If it's a additional amount, then you have to figure out how much it is.
And like collectible cars, someone has paintings, no.
There's no jobs.
Calculate today.
Well, that's really like,
If you calculate your zakat today,
and
and so zakat is, for example, I have $1,000 to pay the zakat.
speaking of my,
yeah,
it's close to me.
Okay, so my question is, I calculate my zakat, for example, it's $1,000 actually. Do I have the time period or can I pay not only the time that I calculate today, I get rid of the zakat and I have till the next year?
it starts from the beginning question, right? That's the right question.
So I calculate whatever my zakat is
Yeah.
and it's $1,000. Okay, so how much time I can pay in future that $1,000?
Well, it's like salah prayers. It becomes farther. That's when you have to give it. I mean, obviously you do whatever you can, but until you don't give it, that burden's on. So like lower time starts, you have to pray as soon as possible. If you die in the middle, that's between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? You have to pray as soon as possible, simple as that. You give it as soon as possible. There's no like you have 10, like with the mortgage payments, you have like after the 10th or the 15th, there's no such thing as that. The moment it becomes due, you have to give it, and you do it as soon as you can.
For example, there is a family which I give every month. I can give them $1,000 right away.
That's a good question.
So my question is, I break up, next month I pay $100
Yeah, if you want to pay your zakat installments, again, it's a gamble that you're taking. Because until the zakat is not given in full, it's on your head.
But I think is it possible that I can tell the kid or a spouse that this is the zakat and it's supposed to go be
If your zakat is due now, and you take 1 year to pay off, in the middle, if you pass away, you die, for example, you haven't paid your zakat.
but I have the intention.
You can pay it. You have it, you can pay it. So while it's a noble thing, I understand that it's big, and you do have to pay as soon as possible. Yeah, you have to pay the zakat as soon as possible. That's what it is.
So you pay the zakat before you take the money.
So, I also took the long-term time period, that's what.
Yeah.
So, my question,
I'm just saying that if, I'm just giving you the example of money, but in future, because in Ramadan, if you turn on the TV and they are asking for it, every Muslim is asking for the zakat. Everybody is giving, and then what happens when it comes back 6 months later, something happens and there is no money, no money.
Well, that's why you shouldn't, everybody gives zakat all the time. So the zakat should be properly, not just Ramadan. That's why I mentioned that earlier. If everybody just gives, okay, Ramadan, you give zakat, and there's money in Ramadan, outside of Ramadan, then not finish it. That's not how it works. Even though your zakat time starts at different places, you have, that's something that we have a responsibility to monitor. When does zakat actually become farm? When that becomes farm, it could be any time of the year, that's when you give it. Now, there are different times throughout the year, but zakat is not a wealth that should be waiting. Zakat is something you should give as soon as possible because it's farm. So you can give sadaqah, you give a donation any time of the year. Zakat is farm, one time a year, and it should be given in full. You know, and by leaving it and waiting for increments, it's a smart, I know it sounds well, it sounds good, but the thing is, you're taking risks. And if you're wrong to take the risk, then it's okay. But you have to use zakat. You're just not giving it until the entire amount has been paid. Yes, sir.
so the clarification was, home video, so still selling for the, well,
Home equity loans. So those, the thing is like, you're taking that.
I'm sorry. We didn't understand the question. What was the question?
home video,
Home equity loan.
home video.
Yeah, home equity loans, the thing is that, that's not, I mean, that's money that you eventually have to, pay back. So this is kind of, yeah.
Second clarification, so the eligible person in our family, they have registered, but they are not eligible, cannot get
I can understand.
the family brothers and sisters, they are 84.
Yeah.
But they have the money, they can pay the whatever the person have. But they are not eligible.
So if you have brothers and sisters who are eligible to give zakat,
Can we give to them?
no. If they're eligible to give zakat, like they have to give it themselves,
They are poor right now.
they're poor, so they don't, okay. So with brothers, yeah, like brothers and sisters, same thing like anybody else. If they have nisab, like they have to pay zakat by themselves, then you can't give them zakat. If they don't have to pay, like they don't have enough nisab, then you can give them zakat.
Can pay money to anybody, to group, students, at home. They don't have any money.
You can give zakat to students, no, that's fine.
You know, same question.
Yeah, they have to be Muslim. No? Islam is an additional.
You don't know the exact status of what they have money and not. But from outside, you see they are not really so well. Maybe they have jewelry, you don't know. Can we investigate and ask questions about this?
You would have to. You have to. If someone's asking for it, you need to ask them, like, are you eligible to give zakat? Do you have it? Because just because someone has a home or a car doesn't mean that they're wealthy. You know, especially living here in California. You could be making $80,000 to pay poverty. You know, so as long as they don't have to pay, that's the main thing.
I just wanted to comment. Most of the people here are probably eligible. They're above the top. Well, I don't think that's an issue for most people. I'd like to make a comment on the rental income and dividends. We just have to be careful because the dividends and the rental income usually gets piled up in our cash. So if we pay zakat in the cash, then we will be doubling up if we pay it on dividends and rental income again. So I just want to point that
Oh, I
out.
hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Because if you have a separate bank account, all the bank accounts are considered cash. So you pay your zakat on it, and that takes care of all of this.
Yeah.
Now, the main question I want to ask is, the retirement account. This is a, very, elaborate topic. We're talking about people living in this country that have millions, okay, multi-millions in retirement accounts. We're not talking 100,000, we're talking 10, $20 million in retirement accounts. Now, 401k is just one part of retirement. There's a defined benefit plan, there's a SEP IRA, there's other stuff that has a lot of money in it. So there is other opinions, and I just want to alert that to you. If you go to the Amana Mutual Funds, they have their own scholars. If you go to the Zakat Foundation, they have their own scholars. And what they're saying is that retirement accounts are like, the analogy is like what Prophet said to the landowners. Back then, the farmers, they owned the land and had crops. So they used to ask the Prophet, and you can correct me here. They asked the Prophet, is the zakat due on the land? And the Prophet says no, even though it's income producing. He says the only thing that you pay zakat on is the crops. And you pay 10%, right, of the profit. And if there's a loss year, you don't pay any zakat on it. So the analogy the scholars are saying are, it's the same thing for retirement. They're considered long-term, like the land is long-term. I mean, the farmers could, die and the children would benefit. And then, the structure might change at that point. So the scholars here are saying that, so the retirement accounts, you don't pay zakat, but you pay the profit on it at tax.
Yeah.
So this is the other opinion.
That's
I just want to
Yeah.
point that out.
Yeah. No, that's really why I mentioned earlier, there are different opinions when it comes to that. But even the agricultural, what's it called, analogy, it doesn't exactly fit with this. You can't really use it the same way. There are many, differences in terms of agriculture and how retirement things work. And that's where you have those two opinions. When either you won't pay it until you have access to that money, you can take that, but even according to them, once you have it, you would have to pay zakat on the subsequent years that you have it. So it's not the same as the agriculture, or once you pay it on an annual basis, that way you won't, when you finally have access to the money, you don't have to give it all the time.
But you realize that.
Now you realize that when you have money in a retirement account and you pay 2.5%, eventually, of course, but obviously it's a law, okay? It eventually depletes.
You guys do what?
It depletes. The money actually reduces every year. And the concept of retirement doesn't exist anymore. Because the idea is when you are retired, you don't have any income and you're dependent on it. I tell you, I'll give you a really nice example. I had some lady call me. She never got married. She wants to take care of her parents, and her brother dies. And the brother leaves her $200,000. And she says, I have no income because I take care of my parents. But I need this money. So if I pay 2.5% every year, and like I said, the spirit is there. We want to pay zakat, but we want to see what is the actual ruling on this. And this is similar to the retirement accounts. So she says, if I pay $5,000 every year, in 10 or 15 years, the money is going to cost me what?
Well,
So one of the things in retirement, if you keep paying zakat, which you want to pay, you want to make sure that this is the correct opinion. If you keep paying, we're talking millions of dollars, and then the crypto, the year you retire, if the value suddenly collapses, and you're left with nothing. Is that what Allah intends? So this is a very crucial question that we have in this country that a lot of scholars in many other countries will not understand. Because the value of, and you mentioned book value, by the way, there's a big difference between book value and fair market value. Book value is the cost, which is what you put in. Fair market value is what is in the market. So the market would dip, and you would have nothing. And then what do you do at that point? Instead of becoming, somebody who's worked so hard to build your retirement next day, now you're suddenly asking for help.
But remember, that's irrelevant to zakat. Whether the value of your wealth, your crypto, that's completely irrelevant to zakat. Because that's something in any business, anywhere in the world, that's going to be the case. The idea that zakat is including your wealth is exactly why you should be doing zakat. That's the spiritual aspect of it. Because that same person who made $1 million, a person making $100, they just barely have it for zakat. That law can be used anywhere. But the zakat is to purify. And by paying the zakat, your money is now pure. Whatever fitna is there, inshallah, Allah will protect against it. So you can't really say
I'm
that.
not talking about the savings, that part we have in mind. I'm just talking about the requirement. That's why these other scholars are saying we pay 10% on the profit.
Yeah,
And
and
that
that,
every year, we pay 100, we pay 10%. So these are the reputable scholars that are saying this.
I know.
So I just wanted to clear.
there's also, there's regular scholars on both sides. And that's where you have to choose. All right? My job is to present to you, and that's why in the beginning I mentioned the different opinions. Choosing your choice. I'm not here to tell you what you have to do, what you don't do. But that's something that you have to, in your conscience, if it makes sense, then go ahead and do that. But remember, you can't just say that there's arguments on both sides. And both sides have very strong arguments. So that's something that choice that you have to make. And the reason why I chose that for me, what makes more sense is to pay it regularly, so you're not stuck at the end paying a gigantic amount and you're going to sit there and calculate this is all being taken care of. Right now, basically, the PM Chief Jihad is here, so we're kind of stop it here for right now, inshallah. And if any other questions, email me, and then we can go into further detail, inshallah. Thank you.
I have one question. I'll take you after. I took you right now because he's here right now. I'll take you right now. Here.
You're gonna take this question up?
No, I'll take it absolutely. Imam Jihad